In episode 1, we set out to transform a worn-out DRZ 400 into a budget-friendly, super capable adventure bike. It happened. The bike was a mess, but after weeks of work, laughs, jokes, and a large amount of self-induced stress, we got to this point. The next step was reintroducing my friend Rory to his finished DRZ 400 adventure bike.
It's just not the same bike, you know? Man. Dude, that's a different bike. That is a completely different bike. Man. It's like a bike that like other people can be jealous of. I've never had that before. And it's got headstock bearings as well. Like actually, it hasn't got a built-in steering dampener. Man. It's got suspension. What a luxury. No. Never start. It didn't really start. Man, that sounds great. It looks like aggressive, but with a kind soul.
Sometimes the story needs to be a big adventure, but I think in the case of this rebuilt 20-year-old bike, that would be a bad move, so instead we plan to do a 4-day ride with a single base. Now the Algarve is one of my favourite places to ride a motorcycle on earth. There are a million tracks, it's empty, and it's probably the best place I've been to film a bike review, so I loaded my van and trailer up for some filming and a photo shoot with Krieger. The last day of the shoot was with the DRZ. It's where we took all these stunning photos, most of them shot by Andy from Krieger. But the DR wasn't done with its curveballs. While riding for these photos, it was very apparent the clutch was slipping. Not badly, but not how it should be. We decided to head out to shoot a few more photos and potter around the hills anyway. Rory was just under strict instructions to be calm with the throttle, and then we'd figure out the rest that night. Rory was joined by my friend Jace. You'll know him as HP2Mav if you follow him on Instagram. He's the reason Rory and I even know each other, and he's become a pretty good friend the last few years. The Portuguese hills were doing what they do best. The trails were good, the temperature was perfect for riding, and to finally be out with the DR was something else. Until it wasn't. Front wheel has completely collapsed. It's basically brand new. It's done about an hour and a half's riding. So we had to go get the van, put it in the van, drive it back here. And so now he is rebuilding the wheel from scratch. He's never built a wheel before. I've only ever straightened a wheel, and Mav's never looked at a spokesmanner. So
one doesn't have dog about himself.
Yeah, exactly. But we have wine, so yeah, we're gonna give this a go.
But it wasn't like, so I was like, well, it doesn't feel like wheel bearings. Yeah, you get that kind of knock with wheel bearings. And
I've never had a wheel bearing get to the point where I could feel it while I was
riding.
No,
but you could feel the difference between a flat tyre and a wheel bearing.
Wait, come back though. Have you ever had it where you could tell that your wheel bearing was so gone?
Dude, this is Rory we're talking about. Yes, I think is the short answer.
It's not To do this, we used a cable tie around the fork leg as the guide for truing it. We then worked methodically around the wheel, tightening every third spoke until there was enough tension on them, and then it's just a bit of tweaking and patience to get it true and straight.
Okay, so we've finished the wheel.
I did get the wheel straight. I'm pretty chuffed with that.
This is pretty amazing.
We channeled our inner Adam Riemann.
And the wheel's pretty much true.
I think so.
Yeah.
True to something, anyway.
And now we're going to go and get in there because headstock's a tad loose.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
We also took the time to use valuable sleeping hours to instead make sure a few other details on the DRZ were going to be right for the coming days. And first up on that was a little bit of tension on the steering.
To do this.
different schools of thought on this. Some dudes run their head bearing so tight it barely moves.
You gotta kind of force it almost.
My old man's theory sort of believes that they should be tight enough that when you just touch the steering, it will slowly stop. I think that's probably spot on.
Yeah.
It will be different to what it was, and he probably won't be able to tell.
Send it up the wall.
We could have done with this DR. It's been through a lot of hands. A lot of people worked on the motor side of it. Sometimes it was a bit rushed and then left and so on. And we've run into a few problems. Firstly, the front wheel, which is now fixed. The rear started slipping yesterday. Well, no, it didn't start. It was slipping when we got here. And because a lot of people have worked on this and so on, I'm just going to check that the clutch is actually together properly. We're going to check with Rory that the oil that's in it's properly the correct oil. Terrible sentence. But also, when we made the video about fixing slipping clutches last year, there were some great suggestions to get you out of trouble. And we have all of the parts here, including some washers, because now we keep washers in my toolkit to solve that. So yeah, we're going to check the spring length, check the clutch is okay, and go from there. I'm going to freeze frame this next shot and then let you see if you can figure out where the problem might have started. For those of you who aren't mechanics, someone has taken 2 clutch springs out of the clutch. This is a common mod on older bikes to make the clutches lighter to pull in, but it runs the risk of there not being enough pressure on the clutch to keep the friction up, some slipping starts, and that is a slippery slope. Back in episode 1, Rory said this.
I bought the DR about a year ago from a mate of mine who was previously owned by everyone else in the group.
So Rory sent that group a WhatsApp message. With the utter chaos of this situation, I also really wanted to make sure that the clutch was all there. Our solution was to then add a washer under the springs that we did have and see if that worked. We went to every bike shop within a 45-minute drive and none of them could help us, so in the end it was the local hardware shop who milled us up some exact fit washers, and then Rory could take it for a test ride. Be gentle with it.
Got a clutch again. It feels
Nice.
good. She's green, ready to go.
Yeah,
It's like how I remember like first getting it.
yeah, sense
It was
of relief.
like quite good fun.
Is that quite a sense of relief?
Yeah, and I've like wound in the barrel on the front a bit more.
Yeah.
So I've like in my head, I'm like, I've got some adjustment now.
Oh,
so
okay,
yeah.
And now you've got a front wheel that's secure.
And a back brake.
To finish our little workshop session, I decided to make sure we didn't cut any more corners. There was a leaky seal around the starter gear that needed some love, and the sag of the bike needed setting. The second half of day 2 was a washout. It rained so much we literally couldn't film a single thing. GoPro's nothing. It was not going to work. It was genuinely wild, but more importantly, we all needed it. We needed to see the DR running for the relief of it and to set us up nicely to see whether we built a dud or not. Now, the next morning, the main storm had passed. This chair had fallen victim, but we were ready for it, ready to see if the DR could be a Land Rover or if it was destined to live in the workshop. I was also ready to push our limits a little bit, but I didn't tell the guys this.
Yeah, it's definitely my bike. I'm so much here. Belle's loving it. Mom's loving it.
So Rory, How we doing, dude?
Good, man. We're just chilling.
So,
Bit of roadside maintenance.
how long since we left the garage?
Not long enough.
Not long enough. And what is it you're fixing exactly?
Just the speedo cable.
You can blame me for this one.
We said this morning.
I'm to blame for this.
So sick, man! Fucking awesome!
Trails were fantastic. They always are in Portugal, but more so Atlas the DR was running as it should. Rory was falling in love with all of it, but in the Portuguese hills the landscape can be a little dicey. There are some problems when it rains, mostly rivers. There's a boatload of them. They fill up, they flow fast, and they get very deep. Quickly, things get spicy. Yeah, because look how it's flowing off to the right there. Yeah. It might be fine, but this can be a bit deep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I lift that up. Okay, so yeah, so it's just at the bottom of that split. Dude. I'm gonna admit this for the camera now. I'm nervous. Very nervous. So, I guess if in doubt. So if in doubt, right foot down. If right foot down, yeah?
I would paddle like top.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah? Turn my fuel back on.
And when you paddle, sit far forward so you're in control.
Okay. I'm glad I put his feet down instantly.
Yeah.
Because it's so, there's no movement. And then it's like sudden.
Yeah.
I think if you were to like put your foot down after, it's like game over.
It's mad. I always find with rivers, like, it's mad how so little water can be so strong.
Yeah.
You know, it's only knee deep. With Jason and I on bigger bikes, the strengths of the DR shone bright. The lightness and the capability made light work of everything, and Rory was clearly loving it. And that was the point. We built this bike to be a lightweight, super capable adventure bike that would let you get through the more difficult stuff without a drama. And we could do it on the other bikes, but you could see that none of this was difficult for Rory.
Dude, that's like airbox height.
You good?
Yeah.
I got nothing on the right.
Got it?
I got nothing on the right.
Yeah, that's okay, but you have to be deliberate with your placement. They're not just standing out there. Okay? Just take your time. That's it. Use them. That's it. Keep going. Don't shut off. Don't shut off.
Come on then, Atlas.
Rivers are a thing I'm nervous of. Over the 18 years or so since I started my adventure riding journey, I've been on the wrong side of them exactly once, and it was once too many. We had to be really careful with every one we crossed, and eventually we hit an impassable one. The sky burst once more, and we decided it was time to head for home. Despite the insane weather, I think all of us were stoked on the day. The feeling of seeing the DR do its thing, making wild rivers look like little streams, was a huge relief. We'd all put so much into this, and the whole project nearly failed multiple times, but to see it finally being the bike we'd set out to build was a great feeling.
How we doing, Dave?
I'm doing good.
Woo-hoo!
How we doing, Rory?
Amazing, man. This is good.
These would be the Liats. They're so waterproof that they hold the water in the bottom like that. Do the pour. How are we feeling about that?
Well, they are waterproof.
Are you aware of anything called trench foot?
For our final day's riding, I had something bigger planned. I think a project like this really needs you to prove that the thing that you're doing has been achieved, and so I had a big day to test Rory in the DR. I wanted to push the distance, to cover some ground, and take in some of southern Portugal's best trails, putting a big tick next to the end of this project. And for the day's riding, we were joined by a couple of Rory and Mav's friends, Koen and Patty, who had just moved to Portugal.
Here we have Llel. Oh dear. I've got to go across now, so Textbook, man. Textbook.
Portugal had saved the best till last. Everything about the day's riding had been perfect. Atlas the DR didn't skip a beat, but just like every good story, there was a final boss to overcome.
Okay. Second? No?
So, what score are we giving that?
For what? Well, he got to the top, so it's a good, like, 7 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then a -4 for his feet being behind the foot.
Nice. Like it. Like it. The Bruce off this thing's gonna be insane. Power, 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 power. Go, 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 go. Ah, dude. It's all good, dude. It's all good. Look at that ORS skill there. No, that was good.
Wasn't clean, but got up there.
You did it.
When you try to give it a handful, and if it grips, it's poof.
Thing is, like for me, the way the DR makes power,
it's really
so easy.
Yeah, because
It's just like
500. Yeah, but the 500 is
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Need to feel not too much gas, but I'm just gonna roll the front.
As you pull away, I'm gonna roll the front wheel.
So nice and gentle.
Move, and you can walk with the bike, pop, 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 pop.
So
Walk with the front wheel.
yeah, just go straight.
Like sat on it, but feet, bom, 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 and you pull you and
Yeah, stop them.
throttle. Little bit less throttle, and then it starts to move. Keep the clutch in the same place. Go, go, go. Keep the clutch there. You're not moving so fast. Okay?
Yo.
Perfect. Now look where your back wheel is. It's in a little dip. So you can be quite aggressive, but then you have to roll off again. So you can and then all the way. Romaniac practice. Forward a little bit. Just, yeah. More aggressive the first bit, and then roll off, okay?
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
What? Feet off the blade, I tell you, yeah.
Yo.
The power of the DR.
Little wheelie at the top.
At the end of this phase of the project, Rory and I have learnt an absolute ton and built some really big memories. It's given me new respect for new bikes and how reliable they are, but the sense of achievement isn't the same. There is something special about your own bike, the way you know it, the way you've put part of you into it, that makes it more than just a tool. Anyway, I'll leave you with Rory's closing thoughts.
I love night riding. I kind of always have. And else, getting a bit leery on the hippie.
got a bit of a race pace on, all Dakar heat. Oh, Dakar Yo just come out. The last puddle, I was so close, and I'm drenched right now, absolutely drenched. So I'm just going to ride back on the road now. And we've just done that road section and then the off-road section. This bike has exceeded my expectations of what it could be. And I think for how, in the grand scheme of things, little money we've spent, it's amazing. But I think you could spend a lot of money on a bike build and have not that much more quality, I think. Very impressed with the tower. I think the tower is the choice of the centerpiece of this build. It kind of always is, but it just carries the whole bike, I think. And every little small detail, especially cosmetic, this really sport restyle kit, it just makes me look back at the bike at the petrol station, you know? Like I walk away, okay, I look back 2 or 3 times. There we go. Heading home now. Warm shower, couple sun edges. Good to go. Peace out.